Yeah, but I'm doing it off my phone. I'm not going to do the, whenever I connect to the deal, it starts up, what do you call it? Updating all my apps.
Well, John can figure out how to turn it back off.
Hello. I went back out and redid it. My carrier has it set so whenever my phone connects to a hotspot, that's when it does all its updates and stuff. And I hadn't connected in a couple of days, so it was doing all these updates. So I had to turn the Wi-Fi off and just run it off of my broadband. So I don't use any of the stuff they update. So after it installs them, I just uninstall them. I wish I could get the apps off my phone.
If you'll give me your phone, I'll fix it. I just don't think of it.
They should be in here pretty quick because the other one's processing, unless they're still over there yakking to each other. Be like, ah, be nice to the little kid. Oh, Chipper, what I was trying to tell you is I forgot to take notes. So there's not going to be a test. Just a quiz. That will count for 100% of your grade in life. So don't sweat it. You and me both, man. I thought I was gonna get Zippy in trouble because of that whole getting stabbed thing. How many of y'all saw my video? Okay, told everybody, did a video saying my wife stabbed me because she was mad at me. So I bought her this. Oh, more. Anyway. Got her pistol and 300 rounds of ammunition. I got a Aquila this big. I'm smart, huh, honey?
Why?
Because you threatened to stab me, so I bought you a gun.
No.
That way, it doesn't hurt for as long. It's just like it's over. Yeah, as an apology, I bought her a gun, yo. Yeah, I got my shocks. They're in, and you know that's like driving a new truck now, almost, except for the part where it rattles a little bit. It doesn't smoke or nothing. And the part where the front end of it's kind of bent, where they run over the fat guy on the bicycle. Other than that, it's pretty cool. I'm joking about the fat guy on the bicycle. I think he was in a wheelchair. Nah, it's not funny either. Because I have to have 1,000 subscribers. Sorry. Now, I could like give you a PO box that you could just send cash. Who was it that I was made a joke on some video here a while back? One, I don't know who's live. I think it was either H&H's or Step One's about doing a GoFundMe for a headliner for my truck. I actually started trying to price those things the other day because, well, I'm in the truck a lot. They're crazy. You get that kind of money? That's like a third of what I paid for the truck. What? Nah, I was just talking back while I was waiting for this to go live. I was asking my wife about it. Um, I need to set one up. I'm thinking about I've done this before. You take because board's fine. It's not rotting. The stuff just came loose. You take it off, you get the foam off of it. Don't judge me. And then you glue whatever material to it and put it back up. It doesn't have the foam for the soundproofing, but you have cloth up there. It's a little bit of work, but it's doable. But anything's doable if you're willing to do the work. That's where people get into trouble, is they spend, like, you know, it's going to take you 2,000 calories to do something. You know, you're physically going to have to expend 2,000 calories to do something, but you don't want to do it. So you spend 1,500 of those calories trying to get out of doing it, and you still got to do it, but you've only got 500 calories yet or left. So you're screwed. Instead of just doing, and Nike stole this, that just do it stuff. That is old school. That's from way back in the day. Whenever you got hired on somewhere or whatever, when I was a kid, and they tell you to go do something, you're like, well, how do I do that? And the answer was just do it. It wasn't no athletic crap or nothing like that. It wasn't just go do whatever you want to do. It was just get it done. Who snuck in here? Can't be letting there's any old body up here. What's up, BA? Alright. Put it on. Chipper said something. I gotta see what it was. The only downside to the 3M is that if you don't have heavy enough cloth, it'll get through it. But it's still better than foam falling off. My grandson rode me the other day and he was like scratching on the ceiling. He's like, look, I can make it snow. It's like, you can stop too. ABA, I'm finna give these guys a quiz on the podcast. And if they fail, then they don't get any cookies. So, Chipper's scared. I don't even know what we're supposed to talk about. I thought we were going to talk about guns and stuff. I actually thought about doing the just cleaning it and dadgummit, that spray, like they show it on TV where you spray your air conditioner or whatever and it seals it up. I know the name of it. I use it all the time. Anyway, it's a polymer stuff, or maybe a latex, I don't know. But it's an aerosol can. You spray it on something like paint, but it foams up a little bit and it gets on maybe a 16th or 18th of an inch thick. And it's shiny. You can get it in tan, white, black, gray, green. That's an option. Flex seal it. Yeah, Chipper, that stuff. Flex seal. That stuff. If I get all that foam off of it, then I can flex seal it. And actually, I could like take a tube of caulking and make me a cool little design in it and then flex seal over it and nobody knows it's made out of caulking. Or I could just flex seal it. I flex sealed the bottom of a boat once. It worked just fine. Until it sank. Not really, it didn't sink. I don't think. The guy I got it from, it hit a rock going too fast. He had one of them duck propellers on there, you know, where it's got the long shaft, like a giant weed eater. And he hit the end of a piece of concrete, knocked a hole in the bottom of the boat. And I knocked out flat and riveted me a piece of aluminum over it, and then sprayed Flex Seal on the whole thing. Yeah, water fine. That I've used that Flex Seal for a lot of stuff. This is a weird conversation we have. I mean, Flex Seal is like, other than being too expensive, it really is just about everything they say it is. You can patch a hole in the bottom of a water tank with a little bit of sandpaper, some window screen, and Flex Seal. You knock most of the rust off with sandpaper, put the screen over it, and spray it with a Flex Seal, and it will hold water. That simple. I bought a used truck that had the guy, he put the rhino liner on the bottom of it. I'm gonna dig up a picture of that truck. I miss that truck. But he didn't take the paint off first, so when I got it, the rhino liner started coming off. Rhino liner has to be applied to clean metal. That's all that Flex Seal is rhino liner, I think, without the grit in it. I told y'all I would go follow the conversation. That's all I'm doing is reading comments. It's a lot easier than typing. I mean, now I got a lag and I don't know what y'all are talking about. The only thing is, y'all still there? Oh well. It said I dropped my connection. I don't know if y'all are there or not. Ah! Can you turn that Wi-Fi off, baby? It reconnected the Wi-Fi.
But I did.
You gotta push. You guys gotta push it and hold it, and that top light goes off. It is disconnecting me, and I'm starting it back up because of stuff. Y'all can't yell at me. She yells at me. Y'all don't yell at me.
What?
Oh, they told me to quit pushing buttons on the phone. Because whenever I push a button on the phone, it looks like I'm poking them like this. What's up? Hey, look who's here. Come here. This is my MRE. What do you want? Say hi. This is the cat I shot on accident. Okay, and I need to clear that up. She didn't actually stab me. She was gonna stab me. But then she didn't. But anyway, but then I don't know. Probably see it better on here. Chickens are dangerous. What, TK? I can't. I'll feed you in a minute. It's my son's cat. I don't have a cat. Honestly, I don't have a cat. I don't like cats. Ow. Because they do shit like that. You couldn't beat the charges. Anybody that doesn't know my wife will never understand exactly why it is wise to fear her. Okay, I'm going to tell you the story of how I met my wife. Chupacabra, yeah, something like that. Long story short, my brother got me to get in the truck so we could go see his girl. His girl wasn't there. This girl walked out. She was very assertive and rude, but she was cute. So, anyway, long story short, she had just got back from AIT. And anyway, super tough. I grew up being one of the rough boys, so I was pretty tough myself. But anyways, uh, we hit it off. But since the time I've met her, I've had her take my own firearm away from me because she was tired of me trying to kill something. Throw it up as casual as can be and just blow it away. Hand me the gun back as calm as can be and walk off. I have watched her beat 3 grown men. One of them my size, one of them 30 pounds, maybe my junior, maybe 2 inches shorter on my reach. And another guy wouldn't met. Well, I told a story about him. Jack, guy that busted a guy's face with a beer mug. Well, busted a beer mug with the guy's face. Yeah. She is absolutely the sweetest, most caring and gentle human being I've ever met in my life. They're right, honey.
Wow.
Really? What about the little solar zappers? Isn't it working? They quit? Man,
It didn't even last a week.
that's not cool. We'll get a electric one or whatever.
That was horrible. And in the hen house, and even Mama up in the tree, you shine the light on her and just swarming her.
That's all that rain. There's no way I can chase down. And they're all that rain got in that asphalt and it's down there in that seed. I mean, there's just mosquitoes like crazy. I wonder about it. We could go get more frogs, I guess.
No, because the chickens keep eating them.
Well, then it's the chicken's own fault. I mean, if they wouldn't eat the frogs, then we wouldn't have as many mosquitoes.
I caught them this morning eating one.
And the little baby frogs that hatched over there hop over here, and that's the end of them.
Yeah.
Chickens are mean. They'll kill and eat anything. She's a psycho. Be careful. Watching Sitfield here, Red. I don't know. It's like we married sisters or something, dude. So well. But she impressed the crap out of me today. She's not a handgun person. She never shoots handguns when we're shooting handguns. She'll grab the rifle and put a few rounds down range, but she took that handgun and she said, "How you do this?" I told her, and then she just like put the first 7 rounds were this big at 30 paces. I was like, ow. And then shot a few more times, and then I showed her if you have an aggressor, you got time, shoot the first time, deliberate and on target, and then you continue to shoot as you walk away. The target we had was roughly the size, it was 18. I put a piece of tin out there that was 18 by 22. 18 inches by 22. That's roughly the size of my torso. as she was backing up, and the first, it's 9 rounds. The first one hit, and as she was backing up and pulling the trigger, the tin was going ding, 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 ding. So yeah, oops. Get her used to shooting this in like 2 days. We'll go get her a bigger gun. The price of eggs in Bosnia, I looked that up. They don't have chickens over there, man. They don't sell eggs. They bake cakes with mushrooms. She just might very well be. Hold on. Which gun? Da-da-da. Wes has always known not to get her angry. I'm not pushing buttons, I'm scrolling. I really can't lock up the door. I don't know if that did it again, man. Hey, he got McPew Pews in here. The what do you call it? Now the party started. Um, Al, run. BA's the one needs to run. He said something about needles. The doctor part was cool, but then something about needles. You got all your chores done? You need some more? Every time I get to play doctor, I'm the doctor and the patient's a chicken. Well, that's not entirely true. I did sew up the cat because somebody shot her. So. At least they're not playing alien abductees or whatever. That wouldn't be any fun at all. Well, how many ladies did you have, Chipper? I mean, how many hens do you have on, or how many hens do you have the rooster on? There's a rule here. They're chickens, not people. So 20.
Made rooster for about 20 to 30 hens.
See, if he was messing up the hens, and if he had 20 hens, he shouldn't have been. He should have been more than happy. You know, he's only got to rub butts with a hen about every 3 days. But if there's some that won't give in, and there's one that gives in all the time, he will keep going back to that one. No, you need one rooster per 20 hens. When the chickens copulate, the rooster actually deposits enough semen in the hen to last for up to 2 weeks, up to and beyond 2 weeks. They don't have to do it every day. She doesn't ovulate every day and then the egg grows, boom. It's a assembly line. You know, the egg when it's fertilized is an itty bitty tiny thing, and then it grows over several days to become a egg, and then she lays the egg when it's ready. And freaking taco cat. Yeah. We have 3 chilled out roosters, and we have 80 hens, right? Loose. And that's, you have to go through roosters and find a laid back rooster. I'm sitting here talking to a phone about rooster sex. But anyway, it takes a while to get, unless you're breeding for a specific look or stature of bird, color of feather, wing alignment, leg color. Unless you're raising show chickens, you need a rooster that's going to treat the ladies right, do the sky watching thing, and make that god awful noise when a bird flies over, and that the hens willingly submit to. Yeah, you got a bad one. What do you got? What flavor rooster was he? We are having a lot of trouble finding a laid back banny rooster. I know that. Which I think we may have got lucky with biscuit or gravy. Gravy. Thanks, gravy. Rhode Island Red. See, well, yeah, maybe.
Rhode Island Red are not docile.
Yeah, the roosters aren't. The roosters to stay away from unless you're breeding the specific chicken. Leghorns. No. They're the white leghorn, brown leghorn. The roosters are cocky as crap. Dadgummit, what's the name of, what was Toes? What was he again? Anyway, the game roosters, for the most part, are going to be like that. Believe it or not, Dominickers are pretty laid back. Well, for the most part. The Buffs and I can't think of the name of that other rooster. The Jersey Giants, the black roosters. I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, it seems like the larger the breed is, the more chillaxed the rooster is. Good night, Guns. You sneaking out already? See you later, Guns, man. It's good to see you. I'm glad to know you're still alive, guy. Hope everything's working good. Are we through talking about hello? No. You're doing the part, you're doing it. You're doing the live cast. You talk. No, you talk. I didn't say stand there. I said talk. She wants to escape. She wants me to feed her. Ow. I keep trying to roll my mouth. I'm gonna get a webcam. We're gonna do this with this thing. Right now. That cat's name is TK or ATK. It stands for Annoying tiny cat. She's full grown and she's half the size of that other mongoloid in there, which is my daughter's cat. And if y'all continue to chat, talk, whatever, look at the pictures on the back wall. I made that necklace. It's kind of cool. But I'm gonna go feed the cat, so she'll leave me alone. I figured this out. I'm just gonna take a picture of me and get it put in a poster. I'm just gonna put it on the wall right here, and that way, if I get up and go do something, y'all never know I'm gone. Huh? Dinosaur's got some messed up cats at his house. That's all I gotta say. My computer keeps waking up because it keeps slapping the thing. Ooh, communications. Every time I try to put this in the little scrolly thing, whenever somebody says something about talking or whatever, we were talking about CBs and stuff. I like slingshots. I just didn't realize I could forget how to shoot one. But alternative to broadcast communications, long distance broadcast communications. Has anybody ever thought about this? My little series, I'm still digging up notes and stuff, but you got to realize these are from years ago, and I'm having to pull them together and figure out where they're going and what I was thinking when I was doing it and stuff. But anyway, American Sign Language. What are we talking about? I think we're talking about a CDL and slingshots. That hazmat's a big hit around here. You gotta have that. And you can haul milk, water, and lumber without it. That's about it. I even think they make them have hazmats on the drywall. What the? Yeah, the hazmat pays better, it really does. But the American Sign Language, my son, when he was, how old was Sean when that stuff hit
He
him?
was in the third grade, so
Third grade.
9.
He lost his hearing, or was losing his hearing. So we started getting ready. We learned, and I'd worked with a guy, and I'd learned a few symbols and stuff, like cutting torch and stuff like that. But so we could talk across the plant. But anyway, come to find out it was because it's something they put in his mouth, and when they removed don't let them tell you any different those fillings or whatever, will screw your kid's life up. Know your dentist. Know where your dentist lives. Know his home address. Make him accountable. But we learned American Sign Language. I've forgotten 99% of it, but that's when I started writing that the old man stuff, which I started calling it the old man here. It was something else then, but I knew people that were hearing impaired, so it was part of my life at the time, and it's really cool. Not that I'm not talking about the ABCs and stuff like that. I'm talking to where you use your hands and your upper body and your face to actually communicate in complete words and sentences rather quickly. And you don't have to make a sound. As long as that person can see you in a monocular or binoculars, or, you know, they can tell you what you need to know. Okay, y'all talking letters and army and stuff, and I don't even know. My wife said she was supposed to be some kind of clerk or something in the army, and then she did all that shooting and stuff. Yeah, whatever. Oh, this is empty. Just pretend I'm still right here. The thing that's funny about it is the people that watch this after have no idea what's going on this chat. So they're like, man, he just like got up and walked away. It's kind of funny. I did something stupid when I was younger, and it knocked me out of going in the military. Had I gone to the Marines first, then would have been okay. But after I tried the Navy, the Marines told me I could kiss her butt. My brothers both were Navy. My dad was Army, uh, and my brothers went Navy at the request of my mother because it was simple. But I wanted to go Navy because of everywhere my brothers got to go and all the stories they told and what they learned. And I mean, my brothers, both of them still use what they learned in the Navy today. And I didn't play around when I went into the recruiter. I signed up. I did the full. I mean, I didn't do a 4-year enlistment. I was going for a full 20 at the get go. I was signing for a full 20. I mean, I decided at 19 that that's what I was doing, but I couldn't get in. You didn't miss the after show, Bent. You're right here. See, this is where the cool people hang out. All like however many of us are in here. And y'all supposed to tell everybody hi, because I know I missed Guns a while ago until he'd been in here for like 10 minutes. Poor connection. That aggravates me. I paid good money for this connection. Oh, you missed all that, Chipper? Dang it. It was a lot. Especially like where my drunk sister-in-law come over and tripped and fell and her boob stopped. You missed all that. You missed every bit of it. Especially the best part, where she left. I love my sister-in-law. Well, one of them anyway. Two of them. Yep. So I'd love the other one. Well, I love her since I want me back. Oh. You know the Bent and Chipper, we ain't been talking about anything. I rattled on for like 6 hours about roosters, I think, and stuff. And then we talked about, they were talking about some army stuff that they did. I have no idea what it was, because I didn't get to go in the army. And things. Yeah, 6 hours about roosters. I think it's funny. We got two of the roosters. One of them's junior, and one of them's senior. But junior will try to sneak over there and trick one of senior's hens, because the hens pick a rooster. It's not the other way around. And uh, they'll realize it's not him, and his butt will wind up on the ground. It's like, oh, you guys butt kicked again. My connection is crap. I am trying to do this off of my Wi-Fi on my phone, not my Wi-Fi, but my phone. And where I live is on the edge of civilization. Like, civilization is close enough that I can see it and smell it and oftentimes hear it. Yet I do not get to enjoy any of the good parts of it, like a decent internet connection, cable TV, stuff like that. I can literally walk 100 yards and I get 4G on my phone, 4G and 5 bars. It's just the way it is. No delivery. I am about 9 miles past the line. Now they will meet me halfway though, if I ask them. I know the pizza guy. Yeah, and I don't know. We're actually thinking about moving further away from it. We were going to buy this property over here, which we might still do it because I think it'd be an excellent investment. But if we do the other thing, we'll actually be moving 30 miles that way, further that way, dropping down into. I took some videos. We did a little road trip. I don't know if y'all saw the video of the Fort Phantom Hill, and we have to drive through the part of Texas that I really want to live in, which is not that far from here, to get there. And anyway, I took videos and I showed people and stuff. And I took some videos on our way to get the goats and stuff like that. I need to get them off of here and do a video thing. But yeah, I can from I can stand on my front porch and I can see the city limits of the town that's 9.5 miles that way. I can see an industrial endeavor that is 4 miles the other side of town. I can see the community if I step off my front porch. And if I can get above the trees, I can literally see a community that is 6 miles, 6.5 miles away. It's a very small community. But I can literally see the whole thing. I'm on the highest point in, well, elevation wise, now ground, from the ground you're standing on, if you're looking up the top, there's several places that are higher than me. Elevation wise, I am right at the highest place in the county. I can literally see most of the county from my house, which is kind of cool. But that should tell you a lot about the county I live in. It's all flipping flat. But not as flat as up around Rob Painless. That man lives on straight up. He lives on the Llano. There ain't nothing up there but flat. I grew up, well, my pre-teens and my teenage years were spent up on the Cap. Couldn't even play marbles up there. Everything, nothing wanted to roll. Everything was so flat. I mean, they named places stuff like Levelland, Plainview, Flat. There's a town named Flat. If Rob had a decent telescope, he could probably see me from his lookout tower. He's 2 hours and 20 away from me. There's a cat on me. But I'm gonna sell you. Auction time. I'm gonna auction this cat off. Who you wanna live with? You can go to Florida. You can go be Floridian. No? No? She earned her keep. A rat killing little fool. She don't eat him, she's killed him. We lived in the Piney Woods for a while. Actually, if I can get it, over there it is. The oil field and the windmill screwed it up around here. Nobody wants to turn loose no land because they're afraid somebody's gonna put a windmill on it. A windmill will pay the landowner about $1,100 a month. So if you got a pile of dirt out there that can't grow anything on, but then they decide to stick 2 windmills in it, you're making $2,200 a month off of something that you've been paying taxes on for the past 100 years and never made a dime on. And you can still put a fence up around it and put a goat on it and get ag credit for it. So yeah. If I can get this bought before they bring the windmills in, if I can get it bought and get a house back there, they can't put a windmill up there. The house behind me, that It showed up on a couple of my videos or whatever. You see the top of it. Uh, that's the original house for this house. This I'm actually sitting on what used to be an old dairy. That house was wired for 12 volt DC, and that was an upgrade. It was originally wired for 12 volt DC, and then they had to upgrade it again for AC electricity. In Texas back in the day, almost everybody had DC electricity in their homes. They had a couple of big lead acid batteries and a windmill with a generator on top of it. Charge the batteries, and then they'd run the 12 volt lighting in their house at night. There's not a lot of people know that. Didn't cost, they didn't, it was a lot of trouble. And for whatever reason, 12 volt lights put out a lot more heat and there's a bigger chance of fire. I don't know what the deal is. Some of that had to do with the technology that was available back then as opposed to now. David, what are you talking about doing? Cheap land for what? Well, I could do the DC in my house, the DC power in my house. I just have to rewire everything because the wiring you have to put in for DC current to do the same thing 110 does, it's weird. It has to be heavier wire. You'd think it'd be the other way around, but DC electricity generates more heat. It's actually, DC electricity is actually more, you get more bang for the buck, but the more bang you got in the juice, the more bang there is in the juice. It's just like the more fuel you put in your engine, the hotter it gets, kind of deal. David, are you talking about like packing up and moving to somewhere else? Okay, then you do not want to try to homestead in Wyoming. The land is super cheap. Your growing season is this big. It's like microscopic. I have family up there. I'm not just talking out my butt right now. Most of Wyoming, there's no place to cut firewood. Everybody thinks Wyoming, they think mountains and trees and yada yada yada. It's not like that. The cheap land is below the mountains and the grassy plains where it snows and you quite literally can't get in or out for 3 to 6 months of the year. If you're really serious about going off grid, you need to find, well, Maine's probably a good choice, but you got to realize that there's only so much wood out there, and if you don't have access to like government land or something where you can walk and cut your wood and get it back, you're gonna run out because y'all got winters up there. I mean, I know it's a lot of trees, but when you're doing everything with wood, cooking, heating your home, everything. How old are you, Mr. Ginther? See, Arkansas, I would be looking at Arkansas too, because man, there's cheap dirt in Arkansas, man. I ain't playing. But uh, I married a desert rat, and she don't want no trees. It's like bushes.
Take your coon ass on over to Louisiana. You don't like it?
Y'all got me in trouble. 39 to 10. How about the lady of your life? Is she gonna want to go to where there's nothing? My wife just told me to take my coon ass back to Louisiana. That's not very nice. Guy, I went back over to Georgia and Alabama, and we hunted up some of my kinfolks. Dude, I am from the from the deliverance experience, guy. That's me. Have a good night, Ben. I'm gonna find out you people's real name. Indoor plumbing. So there you go. Indoor plumbing is going to require a pump and overhead water. But yeah, my wife wants to be able to tell where Walmart is 3 miles away. It's a rule. I still can't believe we couldn't find Walmart. That's funny. Knew where it was after that, though. See, I've looked at, and I kick myself in the butt all the time because I could have bought several thousand acres in the 80s in Arkansas. I would be filthy rich right now, I'm just saying, because I would have turned around like quadruple my money. Because back then you could get it for 50, 60 bucks an acre. It was crazy what it was going for. There's some that was $20 an acre. Around here you can't touch a chunk of dirt. Well, if you get lucky like this stuff, it's wasteland, which you just have to do stuff like the back to Eden and stuff like that. But we grow food on it. It grows grass and grows weeds. Yeah, outhouse built over that. Yeah, 1,000 acre. And see, that's if you're lucky here in Texas, you can luck onto it for somewhere between 5 and 1,000. I'm hoping that this guy will sell it to us for closer to the 5. No, not that kind of grass and weeds, man. I joke around about it, and I even do a fairly decent job at times of imitating old Johnny Jong, but not. I don't. I'd no longer partake. "47 acres is a large chunk of dirt. I just remodeled a house last year I helped remodel a house last year for this old boy and his wife. His wife was raised on a 160-acre farm. They ran 11 or 12 head of dairy cattle, chickens, and grew their own hay and rotated half cotton, half hay, back and forth. He raised his family on 160 acres. Now, granted, he bought that 160 acres in 1929. I found his shotgun. They thought somebody had broken into the house and stole all the guns, which they did. But this shotgun, I should have looked it up. Anyway, the old lady had put it under the mattress, but not at the edge, way out in the middle. And we were taking the bed out so we could redo the bedroom. And I picked the mattress up and something falls off the mattress and smashes me on the foot. And I look down and there's double barrel goose gun shotgun, a hammerless or a hammered. I mean, this thing, pull it back. This thing was put together with wood screws. It was an old gun. I finally found the serial number and stuff and model number and looked it up. It was made in 1925, and it sold for a whopping $25 from Sears and Roebuck. It is one of the most sought after antique guns there is out there because it will shoot modern ammunition. But anyway, it was cool. Well, it can't be just the price on buying land, guy. The land has to be right. If you buy a piece of dirt that's really cheap, but that 100 acres of land you bought for $50 an acre is on the side of a 30-degree incline, what are you going to do with it? You can't even stack rocks on that. Well, I guess if you were lucky, you could stack enough of them to make you some terraces or something, but see, that's the thing. I mean, everybody's talking about like goats and stuff and do this and that and everything else and do this and change that or whatever. The downside to goats is that's why you have them, is because they will eat everything. You don't, and are we prepping for life to continue as it is and be perfect? Or are we trying to readjust ourselves and turn ourselves into the kind of people that can survive without electricity? Are we trying to turn ourselves into the people who can survive without being able to go to Tractor Supply and say, all I need a round bale and 14 bags of goat feed? That's what we're doing here. That's why those chickens, we used to feed what? 4-gallon cans of chicken feed a day. I mean, it took 4-gallon buckets when we got a lot of chickens, okay, to feed our chickens. The chickens were eating us out of house and home. We found out that we could cook their food. We literally, what we fed in a day before now feeds the chickens for 3 days. They're fat. They don't want to eat regular food anymore. And it's as simple as adding water and waiting. We basically start the process of making corn whiskey and then don't let it finish. The chickens love it. And the yeast and the other bacteria and stuff go in there and break down the oils and the fats and the sugars and the proteins and start turning, processing it. So when the chicken eats it, it's soft. It's less trouble digesting it, and their body can get everything out. Regular chicken places they actually sell their chicken poop to places like the dairy so that they can take the chicken crap and feed it to the cows because there's so much food left in the chicken crap. Let that sink in when next time you have a bowl of cereal. Or have you? The lady at McDonald's says, "Would you like cheese on that?" If you live in dairy country, you might want to think that crap through. No, you don't just soak the chicken food. Who brought that up? Is that me? It's a process. It's called fermented feed. The first set takes what, 5 days? Ish. You need food grade bucket. Figure out whatever it is you feed your chickens for an entire day. Cut that by threes. 3 buckets. And you need a filler if you're going to do this. We use alfalfa, Timothy grass pellets. Do not get the cubes. Do not use cubes. They're cheaper. It will not drain. Anyway, you take the feed and you put it in 3 buckets. You make sure that you put enough water, clean water, if you somewhere where you got city water, you need to boil the water first to cook off the chlorine because you want bacteria to grow. And then you put the water in the bucket on the feed. Walk away. Make sure that the water stays above the top of the feed for an inch above the top of the feed. It's got the feed has to be under the water. If the feed is above the water, it is making alcohol, and the alcohol is evaporating. Your food that you're wanting to go into your chickens is drifting away. Okay? I'm basically explaining how do you give your chicken a beer belly. That's funny. But don't drink this stuff. No, wait, I'll tell you what, if you get it past your nose, do a video because we all want to see that. But anyway, you cook it for 5 days, and then then you start a circuit, and it only takes 30 hours after that or something to cook it. After you get the first batch, then you just reuse the water. You have to add additional water because the food soaks it up. But you catch the stuff that you drain off, and you put it back in the next batch. And then in 30 hours, that third bucket, we feed our chickens twice a day with 3 buckets. Because we've got it down, we've got a good culture. So it cooks it. And if we don't get to it right away, like if we're in a hurry or whatever, boom, so it sets an extra day or 2 or whatever. The longer to a degree, the longer it sets, the better it is. You don't want to go past 5 days. Past 5 days, it actually starts making serious alcohol. I mean, it starts, the water's trapping the alcohol. So you don't want to do that. But anyway. You can do the same thing with hog feed, dude, by the way. If you can you've got to teach animals to eat it young. Like the baby chicks we got out there now, we put the chick feed out for them because they got to have it because they need the sand and everything. They prefer the fermented feed. How many of you guys like hominy or grits?
Sauerkraut.
sauerkraut. Our mix is scratch, rolled oats, alfalfa, timothy grass, pellets, Laina. That's it, right? 14? 14. We put a quart of scratch, somewhere between a quart and a pint of rolled oats. I spoil them. I put more than she does. And about a quart of the alfalfa pellets. It expands a lot. A 5-gallon bucket, you got this much feed in the bottom of it. When you start, you've got, it's not even a third of the way full, huh?
Yeah,
But about a third of the way full. And then after the magic 30-ish hours, 20 hours, our stuff soaks what, mate? 20 hours? 22 hours? Anyway, the bucket's full. You got like an inch from the top. And then when you drain it, you're left with about 2/3 of, that's the important part, you got to drain it. You got 2/3 of a bucket of feed that will feed all 100-ish of our chickens. And they're all fat and happy. So now we spoil them with that sweet feed, just regular horse and goat. I do not overfeed the chickens. And who gives the duck special treatment every day? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm getting tired, guys. We give them sweet feed on top of it, and that gives them something to peck around at or whatever. I don't know if y'all seen any of the videos of me killing and cleaning the roosters or whatever, but I pull a cup of fat out of these guys' body cavity. They're all obese. Our chickens are free range. Why do you think I have such trouble with coyotes and foxes and stuff? We 3 months ago we were up to 150 or 148. We had 148. That was including roosters, which I personally killed 20 of those. So we got rid of 20 roosters, but now we're down to 80 chickens.
Actually counting the 5 little whatever's
Yeah.
black ones, we have a total of 90 females.
Okay, so we're back up to 90 females.
And then
Well,
we have the 3 big roosters and the
plus 2 goats.
3 roosters over here.
Anyway, in 3 months we lost 20 or 30 birds to predation. The neighbor had 20 something chickens. You know how many they have left? And they're 2.4 miles that way. 0, none. They got no chickens left. We couldn't figure out why they weren't killing our chickens. Because they found another buffet. They left their chickens open. They didn't close them up at night. But now they're down here and they get ours during the day when they're out. Somebody got your friend's goat. No, that's a bad joke. Where y'all at? Oh, you're in Maine, right? Is that what you're saying? Around here, there's a few things you got to watch out on goats. Coyotes will eat your goats. Cougars will eat your goats. Bobcats will eat your goats. Undocumented workers will eat your goats. Uh, the neighbor going to market who's tired of your goats jumping through the fence will take your goats with him. You gotta be careful. Wes will eat your goats. I'm still trying to figure out why nobody likes goat meat. Well, if they got coyotes around their farm, you're up there, Maine, in Maine where they all got them stupid coy dogs at, or wolf dogs or whatever? Rats will get baby chickens. I'm serious about that too, man. It sucks. This one guy, he's got a fence, and he's got hot wires on the outside because he's got, it's goat proof. He's got hot wires on the outside. I was like, why do you have a hot wire on the outside of your fence? I can't say it because I'll get like in trouble, but it's to keep people from going in the fence to get to the goats. Let's just leave it at that. It wasn't a 90-volt DC deal. That wire on that they had to put their hand on to get over the fence, that was 220 volts. It was knocking the shit out of them. I got a coy dog around my place and he's got to go. I've got a bullet in him a couple times, but he's too smart for me now. He doesn't come in close to me. He got a limp though. They got killed his entire family. Just hadn't got him. Downside to coy dogs is they're bigger and they're smarter. They got the best out of the feral dog and the best out of the coyote, and that's a bad combination. You know how to I'm gonna do this. I don't care. You know how to ruin a Muslim's day, or how to ruin a Muslim's sex life. Smear bacon grease on his goat. I read that on Facebook. I thought it was funny. My friends on Facebook have no couth. Yeah, we've been here for an hour and 19 minutes. And some of you guys, y'all are way back over there where the sun set a long time ago. Still got a little gray outside. Y'all have a good night, Sky. Wife says you need a lot of it. Now would not be the time to interpose that Karma Sutra reflective thinking thing. Night, guys. Thanks. You know what? Thank y'all for stopping by. I'm gonna get off here too. My neck's killing me. I don't know about y'all. Oh. Anybody gets bored and just wants to build me a big four-wheel drive truck, just let me know. That's one a horrible Saturday night. I had fun. Only got yelled at by my wife like twice. Can you believe she called me a coon ass? Oh, but she did. Anyway, you have a good night. I'm going to sign out. If you don't mind, I don't know how many I got. Let me see. I think I'm supposed to do this. Oops, wrong way. Anyway, there's a like button on there somewhere. So, yeah, I got pulled over the other day by a highway patrolman. And he's like, "Why'd you speed up when I turned on my lights?" I was like, "Guy, my ex-wife left me for a highway patrolman. I thought you were trying to bring her back." I laughed. He laughed. He said, "Sign here." And that was my day. But y'all have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm gonna finish. Then I'm gonna poke you like 3 or 4 times before I get out of here. So it says finish here, and that translated into Finland. And then I had to poke. Okay. Good night, guys. Love everybody.